And now we're going to move on and talk about really the only main big new movie release of the week, and that is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World.
So this finds the Vikings of Berk have made peace with the dragons, and they're hunting the hunters, and their island of Berk has become a haven for dragons, to the point that there's probably too many dragons on their little tiny island. People are out still, other Vikings are out still hunting them. There's legends of a hidden world at the end of the world that Hiccup is thinking he's going to try and find some place to hide so that they don't have to hide from the dragon hunters anymore. And there also may be another, Night Fury? Another Night Fury out there. And then dragons and flying and hilarity ensues.
But really not hilarity at all. This is a very sad movie. This is a very heavy movie.
It is relatively
heavy.
This is
scary. This has serious emotional heft. This is about growing up. This is a movie about growing up and becoming your own person, and about if you love somebody, set
letting
them free.
Go. Yeah.
So it's very emotional. It's beautiful. Roger Deakins, my great hero, once again is like the cinematography consultant here. So he did whatever he does,
right,
but in animated form. And if you've seen either of the previous How to Train Your Dragon movies, you know that like they're so beautifully, exquisitely detailed, and the colors are so lovely, and that is really true here, both in very delicate ways, like the pinky cotton candy sunsets, and
right,
and also just there's a
or
journey.
The cloud movement as they're flying through the clouds.
Yeah, and there's a journey they take to a whole other realm, and it's like some cool like underwater aquarium black light situation. Like
right,
the colors are unbelievably bright shades of like cobalt blue and bright greens and pinks, and there's so much attention to detail. It's always lovely to look at. And
I was a little disappointed they didn't show this to us in 3D, because the first How to Train Your Dragon was actually the first movie that I'd seen that I felt really made effective use of 3D. Mm-hmm. Especially the first power dive that Hiccup and Toothless do into the water and then pull up at the last second. Mm-hmm. As that happens in 3D, you're kind of like...
Yeah, there are clearly
right,
a bunch of images here that are intended to be seen
right,
in 3D that we did not see in 3D.
But the way these movies have handled the flying scenes and using 3D to really make that feel immersive has been really effective, and I think adds something to the movie. And I was, again, a little disappointed they didn't show it to us in the screening in 3D. But I think that this is it's a great movie. You catch up with characters that you are kind of invested in what's going on with them, and Hiccup learns to kind of stand on his own, and he learns to be who he is, that he doesn't need the dragon, that he's not just the weird inventor. Like, he actually has good ideas, and he actually is a leader, and he kind of steps up and finds some confidence there.
He has to be a grown-up and live up to his father's legacy, his father the king, and there's the pressure of that. There are a lot of opportunities for supporting characters to have a little fun. Kristen Wiig is hilarious as just this super annoying, fast-talking, just narcissistic weirdo. Right. I mean, she's great in it. It's an incredible voice cast, but what I like about these movies is that it's not the kind of like look at me celebrity voice cast where it's like you're obviously listening to somebody with a famous voice. Like the script is strong enough, and they immerse themselves in it enough that it's not a massive distraction. So I forgot, like, oh yeah, that's Cate Blanchett. Like I forgot about that until halfway through.
The first movie, I think you really get that, right? The first movie, it's Christmas Class. You know that it's Jonah Hill. You know that it's, what's his name, who's not in this one?
Gerard Butler?
No, Silicon Valley.
Thomas Middleditch.
T.J. Miller. T.J. Miller was not in this one as the voice of the twin brother. And there's some other voice actor trying to sound like him, but he and Kristen Wiig were the twins in previous movies, but he's been left out.
It's a different, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That had not even occurred to me as I was listening to it, that there was an issue with that. It's a lot of fun. There is a lot of stressful stuff for kids. There are these dragons that like breathe acid fire,
Right.
And so they're like genetically enhanced acid breathing dragons. And so they more than just set things ablaze when
they melt stuff.
Like stuff just gets decimated. And there's a heightened level of menace with the major villain here, voiced by F. Murray Abraham, who I did not realize that's who that was.
Yeah, I kept wondering, like, who is that?
I'm like, is that Javier Bardem? He's doing kind of like a Spanish accent a little bit.
I felt like he was trying to do Ricardo Montalban.
Okay.
I'm like, oh yeah, like he's trying to be Khan.
Yeah, no, and I couldn't place it for a long time. But again, a great example of like a great actor, and we don't know who it is. He's immersing himself in the role.
Dragons are a dish best served cold.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And you do have Gerard Butler doing that.
P.S. I have not seen this yet. I am dying to see it, but I can't review it because I know the director, so that's why I'm just sitting here quietly.
Yes, but you've seen the other two.
Yes, love
You are a fan, yes. Dean DeBlois.
DeBlois.
DeBlois. He says it right. It's not like in Louisiana, your last name could be like DeBlieux, and everyone pronounces it W. Bobby W.
He's Canadian. He pronounces it correct.
Oh, okay. DeBlois.
Demonet.
DeBlois. So, yeah, this is a lot of fun, and it is good. I brought Nick with me, and he loved it. He's 9. I would say, though, for much littler kids, it's kind of scary. It's kind of intense and very emotional. I will admit, I cried.
Yeah, I got a little choked up at the end.
Yeah. The end is sad.
The end is sad.
We're not spoiling anything.
But everybody dies.
Lest you guys think that I know you guys are very concerned and very sensitive, and I appreciate that. I do, but we're not spoiling. We're trying really hard not to spoil.
But Thanos wins.
But it's also, yes. There's like a Thanos version of a dragon who like snaps his paw, whatever.
Right, his wings. Snaps his wings, and then half of everyone disappears.
No, but it's sad and it's happy sad. And the
bittersweet.
It is bittersweet. It's a good way to phrase it. So yeah, I kind of dug it. It's and it's got amazing reviews. I'm saying 7.8. What's your number?
Yeah, I'm giving it a 7. I was really good. You know, it's short enough. It doesn't wear out its welcome. It doesn't. I wouldn't say it breaks any new ground.
No.
And it could have. You know, it doesn't quite pull on the heartstrings the way a Pixar movie does. But that being said, it's still really good.
And if this is indeed the end of this trilogy, which they purport it to be, it is a satisfying end. Matt, you look rather skeptical
It'll
that
come
it is.
back.
Why?
Because, as I said in the theater, did we ever end any franchises ever?
There are more backpacks to sell.
Right. I don't think we end any franchise ever.
Isn't there a series somewhere?
There's a series.
Yeah.
There is a series.
There you go. So
There you go.
it lives on elsewhere. So our number is 7.4. It's at 94% on the tomato meter. So it is very good. And it's your only movie this weekend because it's the Oscars. So if your family wants to go out and see it on Saturday or Sunday day before the Oscars, you could do worse
Yeah.
on a weekend in February.